Well, I finally did it. After well over 3,100 hours in the game, I unlocked every single thing there is to unlock in Fallout 76. I've played since early 2019 in the bad old days where you had a tiny stash box size limit of £400, and you didn't just get a camera for free, you had to server hop at Waverly Willards just to get a broken camera off a dead body, then take photos all over the map to unlock the real one, and it was also the days where you didn't just get a backpack for free as you walk out of Vault 76. Yeah, it's been a tough one out there. But now, I got every single gold bullion plan from Regs in Vault 94, Sam at Foundation and Mortimer at the Crater. Every single expedition plan requiring stamps from Giuseppe, including everything from the 2 mission pits and all 3 Atlantic City missions. Every plan from those goddamn holiday Scorch presents, spooky Scorch presents, and the horrendous mole miner payols. Every limited time plan from the Mothman Equinox, Meat Week, Fajnat. Every plan from the random spawn events that happen in the game like the Responders Vendor and the Civil War reenactors. Even the random encounter key from killing Mr. Smiley to open the bunkers. And oh my god, what a horrible yet wonderful time it's been. I think everybody has a love-hate relationship with this game. I worked it out, and after playing this game for like 4 years, blue screen crashing twice a day, I must have had at least 2,500 blue screen crashes at this point, but at least I reached my pointless personal goal of getting to over level 1000. I've never duped anything in the game, never done any XP boosted glitching either, so it was all work done in the public adventure mode. And with all of that said, I think I've earned the right to talk about what I consider to be the best moments of Fallout 76 history. There's been a ton of cut content and a ton of great stuff added, so we'll go through the best of it all right here, right now. Number 1, the 60 FPS update. So one of the best updates we ever got for Fallout 76 finally ended a pain that only console users will know. This was the surprise next-gen console update to 60 FPS. Now on 20th of June 2023, almost 5 years after the game had launched, out of absolutely nowhere, Bethesda just decided to unlock the frame rate of Fallout 76 on PS5 and Xbox Series X from the locked 30 FPS to an unlocked 60 FPS target. It was included in the Once in a Blue Moon patch, which was update 16, and the craziest thing in the world is that they didn't address it by putting in any of the patch notes at all, or tell anyone what was happening, so console players thought it could have been a bug or a trial period. It's just insane that they made such a huge move to double the frame rate of the game on next-gen consoles and just not say anything. The day after it happened, the media outlets everywhere went crazy. They were talking about it, wondering why Bethesda had remained silent. The community manager in charge at the time bringing us the patch notes was truly clueless about what players really needed to see and hear in the notes. It proves that all along for the last few years, Fallout titles on console could have easily achieved 60 FPS, and it brings into question why they continue to lock brand new released games at 30 FPS like their Xbox exclusive Starfield, when an unlocked 60 FPS option is easily achievable on today's console hardware, especially now that we've got HDMI 2.1 and VRR, the variable refresh rates. Hell, even the actual huge MMOs like Final Fantasy XIV, they run online in a fixed 4K unlocked 60 FPS on PS5, and that's got 750 people all simultaneously logged into every server with insane particles flying around on your screen all the time, taking up all your CPU and GPU space. But I say, keep the updates coming, Bethesda. Number 2, timed multiplayer vault raids. So these were introduced as part of the Nuclear Winter update, which was update number 2 for the game on the 10th of June 2019. In the now removed content, vault raids in Vault 94 were absolutely incredible. It was a couple of fully multiplayer missions rotating every week with exclusive rewards depending on the difficulty you chose. And oh boy, was it hard. If you chose the hardest difficulty, you'd get the best rewards and the coveted Vault 94 mask with leaves hanging out of it. But goddamn were these raids broken. It included timed sessions where you would need to do everything in a very short time limit, but problems with the game and laggy servers meant that things only worked 50% of the time, and you wasted a ton of ammo and stimpaks if you failed, let alone hours of your time. Now if one player in your party spent 2 seconds looking in the wrong direction, it was just game over. But it was seriously fun. It encouraged serious teamwork and pooling of resources for ammo. They should have fixed them instead of removing them from the game entirely. The game code for the raids still clearly exists today, as it was accidentally included in a new bug introduced in Atlantic City America's Playground update. You could see the missions available in your Pip-Boy alongside the Vault 94 mission icon in the right side, despite the raids being removed from the game years ago. Number 3, Nuclear Winter Battle Royale. Whilst Fallout clearly isn't a game designed for PvP and doesn't have stable enough servers to stand as a fast-paced shooter, Bethesda gave Fallout an attempt at the ever popular at the time Battle Royale game mode. So there was rewards available up to level 100, which were later subsidized into the adventure mode to obtain once Nuclear Winter shut down for good. This game mode was extremely fun and not easy to win if you were against other good players. However, due to the game being so broken and not designed for this type of gameplay, you could easily cheat your way to victory. For example, the graphics of the game are so bad, you could put on some wooden brown coloured armour or Under Armour suit and then sit in a bush until the very end of the match completely undetected. Due to the low poly and badly textured bushes and trees, your character will blend in that easily. And then you can just activate a stealth boy in the final moments to remain invisible. All in all, it was partially skill based, but more so luck based on what you might find when you drop in, which is like all battle royales. But what made this completely broken was the fact you had a perk system, meaning your damage output and other abilities would be different for every single player instead of on a level playing ground. And possibly the least thought out part of Nuclear Winter was that you could build a base just like in Fortnite. Now, whilst in Battle Royale games sometimes you do have base building, in Fallout you could go into adventure mode, build a base and then blueprint it. This meant whenever you went back into the Battle Royale mode of Nuclear Winter, you could instantly place that down, requiring no building at all. The main issue with all of these different things is that they make it not a Battle Royale game, but it was stated by Bethesda to be a Battle Royale game mode. Now don't get me wrong, I love this mode. I must have had about 700 hours of my total playtime in this mode. I won hundreds of matches and each one felt like a huge victory, and I also reached the top level of the rewards. Now the only reason I stopped playing it was because of exactly that. There are no rewards after level 100, and Bethesda stopped updating it with new rewards completely immediately after it launched. They then removed the entire game mode on September 8th, 2021 in patch number 9 and replaced it with Fallout Worlds, which was arguably the worst decision Bethesda have ever made for one of their games. I've never seen a single player in the entire Wasteland talk about or ever enter a Fallout Worlds session, apart from maybe 3 or 4 people on YouTube who make builders content. So to say they got rid of Nuclear Winter due to lack of interest from the community was an absolute farce. There were still thousands of people who signed a petition to stop it getting removed and to then bring it back. I even remember the post the Fallout 76 community manager put online saying they were getting rid of it due to low player count and replacing it with a mode that doesn't allow any progression to continue in the adventure mode, and thinking, wow, this community manager doesn't know how to do their job and manage a community experience at all. But this was step 1 to Bethesda killing their own game. This game mode should have stayed. Wastelanders. Brought to us in the format of a complete overhaul of the NPC system, it introduced human NPCs into factions, such as raiders, settlers, cultists and blood eagles. It also brought a new currency system known as gold bullion, new map locations, new quest lines and a brand new redesigned one-time vault raid, and this has arguably gone down as the best Fallout 76 update in history. It also came right at the time that most countries formally started recognising COVID-19 lockdowns and brought the lockdowns around the globe, meaning people had a lot more time to play this game at home. The game really was empty before this update. All it had was a couple of robot NPCs around the map and there really was not much to do at all. This update was a game changer. Number 5. One Wasteland. A largely forgotten about update overshadowed by the Wastelanders update, this one was arguably the best update we got for high level players to keep the game moving and challenging. Now at the peak time of legacy weapons and an unbalanced game, this update introduced a completely rebalance of enemies within the game. Now the way the map used to be set out was the forest being the lowest level area of the game, intended for newer starters, so the enemies were scaled between level 1 to 10, and so on and so forth with the other areas of the game as you discover them in your quests. Now Bethesda initially thought this would work because the max perk level is 50 and the max weapon level is 50, but they soon realised due to player feedback that once all players hit level 50, they're all more or less the same, so they can decimate almost any low level creature with one bullet in the forest region, especially with legacy weapons. Now this effectively punished players by giving them a low XP reward per kill in low level areas. Now the One Wasteland major update rebalanced the entire game, so the enemies in certain areas of the world would now scale more relevant to your player level, and this had a maximum level a creature could reach being level 100. So what this did was it rewarded higher XP for players to keep things fresh and provided more of a challenge overall, as if you encounter a level 100 enemy it would take more bullets and time to kill. Number 6. Nuka-World On-Tour. Now at the time this is one of the best pieces of content we got added into the game. We got 3 new events, 1 new endgame nuke drop boss, a ton of new quests, new outfits, new plans and a new map location. Yeah, this one was fun, but it's at the bottom of the list as now it's totally dead thanks to Bethesda not doing anything to keep it alive. So my expectations of Nuka-World On-Tour was, well, just that. it would be on tour and move around the map each quarter of the year with maybe some new stuff. But no, it's remained exactly where it started in 2022, and now there's 0 players going to that location at all, with it just being a forgotten memory. But we can all look back to the time where that badass new endgame boss dropped and we were all doing those quests and challenges and getting the new stuff. Yeah, that was pretty fun. That's it from me today, guys. Check out my other gaming content on the channel. See you in the next one.